What's happening, guys? Mike from MetaComix coming at you live here real quick with another podcast. This one is entitled Comic Review Roundup Number 2. I'm going to try to do 2 weekly podcasts, one with a co-host where we talk about news, a main topic, and then we delve into some reviews of a couple of issues of comics that we're currently reading. But aside from that, I want to review more than what I get a chance to do in videos, which I only get to do about 2 or 3 actual videos per week of specific issues I want to review. So I want another platform where I can take the rest of the issues that I've read and review those all in one shot, one sitting, and just kind of get it out there. Eventually, as this continues to grow, I would like to incorporate viewers into this whole shebang here and answer questions, discuss issues, get feedback on what people thought about the issues that I picked for the week, and what kind of stuff you've been reading, and just all that kind of good stuff. Just have a good dialogue and conversation. So that's kind of where I would like to go as far as this podcast is concerned, aside from the main MetaComix podcast that will be coming up next Friday, or not next Friday, this Friday coming up. All right, so I'm only going to be talking about 2 issues today because of being kind of busy over the weekend. I had to do some work on Saturday, and so I didn't get to read as many comics as I normally do. So today I'm going to be talking about Batman Eternal number 21, and this is going to be full of spoilers, so if you haven't read these issues yet, you might want to just go the other way. That's why I try to wait till Monday or Tuesday to do this particular show, because by then most people have read the issue and it's not going to be a big deal to talk about the spoilers. Now, you'll have to forgive me because I'm looking at notes to the side here, so if you see me look to the side every once in a while, don't freak out. I'm not having a weird seizure or anything. I'm just checking out my notes, all right? I have a terrible memory, so I need to write everything down. And just in case you hear some crazy, funky noise in the background, that's just my children. I am a father, so, part of the deal with kids is when they're little, they scream, they make noise, and, that's the best I can do. So, now, anyway, Batman Eternal number 21. So basically the story is, here Bard becomes the next commissioner. Falcone gets a visit from Batman, and we find out what exactly Bard has really been up to all this time. We find out what his dirty secret really consists of. Now, in this issue, the thing that stuck out to me the most was the fact that our suspicions about Bard, particularly mine, I always thought he was probably a bad guy. That was confirmed in this issue. Bard is absolutely a bad dude, working with someone to try and take over Gotham City, and he's attacked Alfred. He's networked with all these other bad guys to take out Batman, put him aside. Batman has no idea, as far as we know. I have a feeling that he does know that Bard's up to no good. And so there's just all this great criminal conspiracy stuff going on. And this, to me, is what makes the Batman Eternal book so good, is that it is a gritty crime story type of book, which is why I absolutely hated the last few issues, well, not the last few issues, but a few issues ago when they started incorporating the really weird, ghosts, vampire, dark spirit type stuff, the dark horror elements into the book. I just think this book works so much better as a gritty crime story, so that's why I enjoy it so much, and I've enjoyed seeing it return to those roots there for this issue and the previous issue, so it's really cool. Now, I really enjoyed the plot development here. I think that the whole idea of Bard being a bad guy and, all this time pretending to be a do-gooder, I think that really, moves the plot forward, makes everything kind of seem a little bit more epic in scope, that there's more going on here than just Falcone and Penguin and some gang war. It's really epic in scope, and so I really appreciated a lot of the work that went into this issue to push the story forward. There was really good dialogue, great interactions with some of the characters. Dialogue is a big deal to me because dialogue is where all of the character development happens, obviously, next to, the whole thought captions and things like that. The development and most of the plot movement come from dialogue, so dialogue is essential. And the dialogue was pretty decent here, so I enjoyed that. There was some really gritty interrogation scene stuff going on. That was really awesome, and I really just enjoyed the fight scene between Falcone and Batman, which really wasn't much of a fight scene. It was Batman beating the snot out of Falcone, which is always fun to watch. So that was really awesome, and I really enjoyed that. The only thing I didn't really care for in this issue was the whole scene with Alfred being attacked by whoever that bad guy was. I don't remember. He was obviously sent there by Bard. So that whole scene, it was like really cool. I thought you were gonna get to see the like really freaking tough, awesome like spy Alfred take somebody out. He freaking gave his daughter a karate chop to the neck to take her out. Put her in the safe house or safe room or whatever. And I was expecting to see something awesome here, and instead he gets attacked by this dude, needle shoved in the neck, and he starts freaking out, terrified about something. I don't know. So it just seemed anticlimactic and seemed to kind of backtrack over the excitement and tension they just built. Just a minor gripe, though. I mean, it was nothing real big. Overall, I gave this a score out of 9.5 out of 10. Pardon me for that. It was very, very well written, very, very enjoyable. Now, there was a couple of themes that I picked up from this, and one of them is that trust is something that needs to be earned over time. Too many people in Gotham just started, trusting Bard too soon, including Harvey Bullock. I think his name's Harvey. I don't know, I could be wrong, but Bullock. He trusted him way too early. It seems like Batman did, but, Batman's quick on the draw, so I don't know that Bard's been able to get one over on him. The city just seems too trusting of him way too quickly, and I think that's something that a lot of us have a tendency to do sometimes. We meet someone who just seems really awesome and really cool, and they do a couple of impressive things, and all of a sudden, we just trust them with everything. Oh, this person must be worthy of my trust. Look how cool they are. And it ends up, biting you in the rear later. So I thought that was an interesting theme. Also, you need to just be careful who you trust in general. I don't mean to sound like a pessimist or a cynic, but this day and age, it's almost impossible to trust people because, there's so many avenues and outlets now for people to just backstab you that you have to be very careful who you trust and what you trust them with, So I just think that that's, a nice little cautionary tale. So that's my review of Batman Eternal number 21. I was very impressed with this week's issue. Looking forward to number 22 and see what further develops with Bard and Batman, and to see whether or not they're finally going to get freaking Jim Gordon out of prison. I've been dying for that to happen, for Jim to get back out and take his post back up as commissioner. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, I think he's going to get out of prison, but I don't know if he's going to get his post back or not. So that'll be interesting to see. Time to flip the old notes here. All right, next we're going to talk about Wolverine number 12. As everybody knows, it's soon going to be the death of Wolverine. They're going to stick him 6 feet under and bring him back probably in time for the next X-Men movie, or probably even before that. It'll probably be gone a year tops. So, we'll see how that goes. It's the 616 universe. Nobody ever stays dead for long. This issue was written by Paul Cornell, and the art was by Pete Woods. Now, as far as the story goes, Wolverine takes on Sabretooth in what's supposed to be their final showdown before Logan's ultimate demise. And it all takes place in a busy shopping mall. There's lots of fighting, lots of bloodshed, lots of brutality. The fight scenes were quite good. They were very, very good. I really enjoyed the fight scenes. I thought there was a little bit of decent character development with Logan. He really had to step out of his usual self-preservation mode type of survival instinct thing and think about other people and attempt to, sacrifice for the safety of someone else. I thought that was interesting. The ending was pretty decent. It's setting the stage up for Logan's death, which is what they've been setting the stage for some time now. As much as I enjoyed those things about this issue, there was a lot that was just not that great in my opinion. The art was inconsistent for one. There was a lot of weird shading issues within some of the panels. There was bad like shading in the face area on some of these panels, some of the people. And some of the faces just seemed off. Like the facial expression didn't seem to match what was actually going on. Like, there's a panel where Sabretooth punches the absolute snot out of Wolverine, and his face doesn't look like he's been punched. It looks like he's just turning his head to the side, looking at someone. I'm like, that's not what you'd look like if you just got slammed like that in the mouth. So the art wasn't all that great for me. The dialogue was weak. There was a lot of great opportunities to use dialogue effectively to push both Sabretooth and Logan into new areas as far as character development goes, and I don't think those opportunities were seized upon fully. And so in light of that, it left me wanting. So there wasn't as much excitement as I expected to be in this issue. The tension was kind of missing. There's no, not a lot of build-up or dramatic tension in the fighting or anything that left you going, oh, I can't wait to see the next panel. And it was just kind of a boring read, really. Themes, sacrifice. That's a big one. Sacrifice for others, not focusing only on ourselves. That's a big theme in most superhero comic books, but that seemed to be a purposeful focus on in this issue. Defeating evil means overcoming evil with good, not just doing revenge on someone else, or not just taking revenge, but it actually requires good acts of mercy and things of that nature, which is what Wolverine did by not just going ahead and finishing off Sabretooth, which may be a decision he regrets later, I don't know, but it did show some growth in his character. Overall, this book was not nearly as good as what I was hoping for, and it's kind of taken some of the wind out of my sails as far as the excitement for seeing how they're actually going to kill off Wolverine. In light of that, I only gave this one a 7 out of 10. I just really wasn't all that excited about it. Wasn't really feeling it that much. I'm hoping the next one will be better, It is what it is. So the writing's been kind of weak for this series lately anyway, so I guess that's not really much of a shock that this didn't really satisfy. Anyway, that's the 2 issues that I'm reviewing this week. Stay tuned. Later in the week, I've got another podcast coming up with my co-host Steven. We're going to be talking about some good stuff. And I've also got new video reviews coming out. I've got one coming up for Outcast number 3. That'll be up probably the next day or so. And then, of course, this next week's books will be up by Thursday and Friday, and probably maybe even over the weekend. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the videos in order to keep up with all the content. Let me know what you think. Leave comments and thoughts about what you thought of these 2 issues, what you thought of Batman Eternal and Wolverine. Did you enjoy them, not enjoy them, agree, disagree with my review? Just be blessed. That's all I got. Peace.